All right. Being an adult is hard because you have expenses. There's things you have to pay for. Regardless of what that paycheck amounts to, there's things you have to pay for. And you have two categories here. You have fixed expenses and variable expenses. So, fixed expenses are the ones that don't vary. They are what they are. No matter what, you've got these expenses every month. You don't have any choice. So, like if you own a car, your car payment is a fixed expense. It's the same amount every month. You can pay more if you choose to, but you have to pay that car payment. You also have to have insurance on that car. That, like a good neighbor, you have to pay your insurance on that vehicle. That's a fixed expense. It's the same thing every month. You know you're required to pay it. If you have a cell phone, that's a fixed expense. You have to make that cell phone payment every month or they'll shut off your cell phone. Same way with a home, your mortgage payment, what you pay to the bank in order to own your home, or if you don't own your home, if you're renting a home, your rent, that's a fixed expense. You know it's coming out of your paycheck. You know you have to pay it regardless. There's no change in the value of that. And then you have other expenses that are variable or flexible expenses. They're not necessarily things you can throw away or get rid of, but you can change the size of them. So, like groceries, you have to have groceries. You have to have groceries to survive. But that's a variable or a flexible expense because you can shop on the cheap. Instead of eating steak, you can eat some hamburger or hot dogs. Instead of having um, like Pepsi and Mountain Dew, you can drink water. So you can change the value of your grocery expenses. You can cut back and save a little money there. Gas in our community in Fleming County, it's a little hard to change your gas expenses because if you have to transport yourself to and from work. But it is possible to make some changes if you live in a big city because you choose to use like public transport. You can ride a bus to work instead of driving. Or you can ride share if you live where we live. If you have somebody that lives fairly close that works at the same place as you can ride share. That'll save gas money. Also, you can make sure you make smart choices when you go out on errands and you do all the things at one time so you don't have to run errands on multiple days. That's a way to change your gas expense. You can even change how much your electric or water bill is, your utilities, by being conservative. You have to have water and you have to have electric, but you can cut back on the expenses by like making sure you turn off all the lights to conserve energy or taking shorter showers to conserve water. That's a way to make that a flexible uh, expense that you have to make. Of course, movies, going to the movies or going out to a restaurant to eat, those are totally flexible expenses. They're variable because you can choose not to do that. If you need to save money for something, you can choose not to go out to the movies or go out to a restaurant. And then, like shoes and clothing and all that stuff, sometimes, according to your job, you have to have some new stuff. But you can make smart choices into what kind of expenses you make in order to save money.